Hi everyone, my name is Jen and I am a student occupational therapist. This week I've been focusing my videos on the zones of regulation. If you haven't watched my previous videos on this topic, the zones of regulation help individuals who have a difficult time with self-regulation, and it helps them work towards achieving the ideal state of alertness, which is known as a green zone. In order to achieve this, one must be able to recognize their own emotions and successfully use strategies or coping skills to control their behaviors. If an individual is in the blue zone, they're going to have a lower state of alertness. Some coping skills that can be used or coping tools that can be used to get them back into the green zone include, but are not limited to, the following. They could take a break, ask for a hug, talk about their feelings, take a walk, or even draw a picture, or even stretching. If an individual is in the green zone, this is a zone where they are at the most ideal state of alertness. Some coping tools that can be used to stay in the green zone are drinking water, staying on task, smiling at others, and even helping others. If an individual is in the yellow zone, this means that they're at a heightened state of alertness. Some coping tools that can be used to return to the green zone are they can take a break, they can squeeze a fidget ball or a stress squishy ball, they can even take a walk. They can also ask for a hug too in this state. There's a lot of various ways that they can get back to the green zone. If an individual is in the yellow zone, this means that they have a heightened state of alertness. Some coping tools that can be used to return to the green zone are taking a break, squeezing a fidget ball, or even a stress squishy ball, or even taking a walk. If an individual is in the red zone, this means they are at an extremely heightened state of alertness. Some coping tools that can be used to return to the green zone are taking really big, deep breaths, taking a break. They can do wall push-ups, they can put on a weighted vest, and even take a walk. So with all of these different zones, there are many strategies an individual can use, and this can be determined through the trial and error process, like I said earlier. For this video's activity, I'm going to demonstrate a fun way that an individual can use to keep track of all their coping tools that they have found to be helpful for each zone and how they can get back into that green zone. In the previous video, I shared an activity called the zone check-in, which can help someone who is working on improving their ability to self-regulate by checking in every so often to determine what zone they are in. So I'm actually going to be adding on to this previous activity by demonstrating how one can determine what zone they are in, and also have the coping tools that they need to get back into the green zone if they're in another zone, or even how they can stay in the green zone. So for this activity, you will need the zone check-in from the last video's activity, which is this. And then for this video's activity, I'm going to demonstrate a fun way that an individual can use to keep track of all their coping tools that they have found to be helpful for each zone and how they can get back into that green zone. In the previous video, I shared an activity called the zone check-in, which can help someone who is working on improving their ability to self-regulate by checking in every so often to determine what zone they are in. So I'm actually going to be adding on to this previous activity by demonstrating how one can determine what zone they are in, and also have the coping tools that they need to get back into the green zone if they're in another zone, or even how they can stay in the green zone. So for this activity, you will need the zone check-in from the last video's activity, which is this. And then you are going to need 5 different markers. You're going to need a blue marker, a green marker, yellow marker, red marker, and a black marker. And then you also will need a pencil. So from here, when I told you last video that we wanted to fold it over, I actually, before recording this video, I drew this out, which is going to be the toolbox where they can put every strategy or coping tool that they use in each of these various little sections to get back into that green zone. So in order for your individual to complete this, you're going to want them to have, this is going to be opposites. So this would be for the red zone, and then the yellow zone will be here, the green zone coping tools will be here, and then the blue zone coping tools will be here. So I'm going to just show you how you can have the individual or individuals you're working with do this. And then from there, we're going to put in various coping strategies that they can use, or their coping tools that they can use to get back into the green zone. And then I'll show you how you can use the pipe cleaner and how this will be able to say what zone you're in. So the green zone, and then it'll point to the coping skills to stay in the green zone. So for the next part of this activity, after they outline each of the little areas down below in the toolbox, you can start discussing what coping tools they have decided that work best for them to get back into the green zone. So we can start with the red zone, and you just put a couple examples there. So for the red zone, you could say, have them write takes a deep breath, or takes deep breaths. And then also wall push-ups or animal crawls or putting a weighted vest on. So you can just have them write it in this section. So I'm just going to do 2 examples. So say wall push-ups, and then another strategy I'm going to put down is animal walks. So animal walks are, for example, the crab crawl or the bear walk or crawl. So for the next coping skills that we are going to write down, or you can have the individual you are working with write down. Some examples could be taking a break, squeezing a squishy ball, giving yourself a hug, or even reading a book. So I'm just going to put down take a break for one. And the other one I'm going to put down is squeeze a squishy ball. So for some coping skills for the green zone to stay in the green zone would be drink water, stay on task, smile, and help others. Just some examples. So I'm going to choose drink water. And then I'm also going to say smile. And for the blue zone, some coping tools an individual could be talk to someone, ask for a hug, do some stretches, and even coloring. So I'm going to just choose 2 of these. So I'm gonna put down ask for a hug. And then also I'm gonna put down stretch. And then that is a finished product. And so how this works is, say, I kind of showed you in the beginning, but just to give you a real example. So say if someone is in the yellow zone, they can move these to the yellow zone and then have it go into the yellow zone. So here's the yellow zone, and then here are the yellow zone coping strategies. So when they are in this zone, you can tell them to go down and look at their coping tools that they have written down. So they can take a break, or you can squeeze a squishy ball. So that is it for this activity and for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for